Welcome to Flip Lesson 86. Today we're going to look at the idea of how to understand multiplying fractions times whole numbers and how we come up with an answer to do this. All right? So we start by looking at our first problem up on the board. It says, what is 1/3 of 6? And so what you see here on the screen is you see that there are 6 squares. Right, so you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so you see those 6 squares. And we want to know 1/3 of those. So if we were to take these 6 squares and we were to divide them into 3 groups, that would be a group, that would be a group, and that would be a group. And in the end, we see that in our picture, there are 2 in one of the 3 parts. So in the end, 1/3 of 6 is 2. And that picture helps us see that. Now, to solve for this, what we're actually doing, we think about the word of. Of means multiply. So I'm going to take 1/3 and I'm going to multiply by 6. The problem is that 6 isn't a fraction though. The good news is that every whole number can be easily turned into a fraction by doing this. The whole number becomes the numerator, and then to make it a fraction, we're just going to put it over the number 1. And now we have a fraction. Because 6 divided by 1, this divided by this, equals 6. So it is a whole number. So in the end, now we can multiply. Numerator times numerator. So 1 times 6, that gives us a 6. And then 3 times 1, which gives us a 3. Now, we spent some time looking at this idea with fractions and understanding that this 6 over 3, we understand that this symbol right here really is a division bar. So it's really saying 6 divided by 3. And when you think about that, 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And now that we have our answer of 2 using the math, we can look over here and we can see our picture agrees with that idea. Let's try another one. It says 1/3 of 2. Now, in this picture, I can't just draw 2. And so the picture here is you got to first understand that I separated it by 2 by thinking of rectangles. The red rectangle is my 1 and then my 2. In red. But then that rectangle, I took that rectangle and I divided it into 3 parts. All right, so I divided that into thirds. And when I do that, you can see that now there are 6 small squares together in that idea. Okay. And so now when we ask, okay, I see these 2, right? These are 2 of the possible 3, right? Because we have this big square, 2 of the possible 3. And so we're looking for an answer of 2 out of the possible 3, or 2/3. Once again, we can do the math here, right? 1/3 of becomes multiply. And our 2, right? We take our 2, we make it a whole number over a 1. And now we can multiply. 1 times 2 equals 2. 3 times 1 equals 3. And we get 2/3 for an answer. And once again, it agrees with the picture. Now we can move right into this stuff without having to think about the picture. You can draw a picture if this is going to help you, but you don't necessarily need to unless the directions tell you to. So what is 1/4 of 5? So that's 1/4 times 5. And of course, we're going to take that 5, and we're going to put it over 1 just like that. And so numerator times numerator, 1 times 5 gives us 5. And then 4 times 1 gives us 4. And of course we can say, well, that's an improper fraction. Let's change that into a mixed number. So we're going to take this 4 and we're going to divide 5 by 4. So 4 goes into 5 one time. And we're left over with a 1. And so we're left over with a 1/4. And so by doing this method, we figured this out. If you can't see how I got the 1/4, then switch it into a problem like this and do 5 divided by 4. 4 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 4, 4 minus 1. Here's our 1, and that's where we get our 1/4 from, just like that. Okay. Oops, too far. Okay, that is our look at multiplying a fraction times a whole number. So here you have a word problem to guide you in your way as you work with multiplying fractions. That's lesson 86.